Okay, this is the review for Unit 5, Part 1, Equations of Linear Functions. Question 1 says to write an equation in slope-intercept form that has a slope of 1/2 and a y-intercept of -8. So the first thing is we need to know about what slope-intercept form is. And slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. We are going to fill in the slope and we are going to fill in the y-intercept, leaving the x and the y as our independent and dependent variables. So my slope is 1/2, that's the variable m. And my y-intercept is -8, so I can write either plus -8 or I can just write -8. Okay, question 2. Write an equation in slope-intercept form that has a slope of -5 and a y-intercept of 4. So doing the same thing, I'm going to take my form y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to substitute in my slope of -5 and my y-intercept of +4.
How's it going?
Okay, now I'm going to find the rate of change from my graph. And of course, rate of change is just slope. So I'm looking for the rise over the run, or the change in y divided by the change in x. So as I'm looking at my graph, I notice it's going down from left to right. And this is the elevator ride. So we're going down 20 floors. And we are going to the right 20 seconds. So we go down 20 floors in 20 seconds. Simplifying that fraction, -20 over +20 is just -1. So it means we're going down 1 floor per second. That seems pretty fast. Okay, at Bounce Around Rentals in Pearland, they charge They charge a delivery fee of $125, an additional fee of $75 per hour for renting a bounce house. Write an equation in slope-intercept form where C represents the total cost and H represents the number of hours. So we have to decide what's our slope and what's our y-intercept. So if we think about it, our slope is the thing that's changing. Our slope is the thing that's multiplying by x. So I see a keyword in here that says per. For every hour, it's going to be $75. That is going to be my slope. $75 per hour. So I'm multiplying C is the cost and then H is the hours. So then it's a delivery fee. Well, that only happens one time. So that's my y-intercept. And they said this is total cost. The next section asked me to convert. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with this? To convert from standard form to slope-intercept form. So I want it to look when I'm done like y equals mx plus b. So to do that, I need to get y by itself. In part A, here's my y. This is what I'm trying to get alone. That's a little light for me. Okay, here's my y. That's what I'm getting alone. Don't move the y at all. Y stays in the exact same spot the whole entire problem. So I see that I have a positive 5x. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. It's going to leave me with -2y. And then I'm just going to rearrange this so it's in the same form as slope-intercept form, -5x plus 20. Those cannot add together or subtract because -5 has an x with it, 20 does not. They're not like terms. Final step is I'm going to divide by -2 and simplify. -5 divided by -2 is just 5/2. And positive 20 divided by negative 2 is negative 10. And now I have it in slope-intercept form. Same thing with part B. Again, I'm solving for y, so this purple y is not going to move. I'm not going to do anything to the y. Again, I have a positive with my x, a positive 3x, so I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. I'm left with this time a positive 4y, and then again, I'm going to rearrange into the mx plus b form, so negative 3x plus 36. To get y by itself, final step, divide by 4. Simplify my fraction. Negative 3 over 4 can't simplify. And 36 divided by 4 is 9. Okay, last one. Again, this is the y that I'm getting alone. This is the y that I'm getting by itself. I do not move it. I do not touch it. I move everything else away. So we still have a positive x, so I'm going to subtract 1x from both sides. I'm left with negative y is equal to, rearranging this, negative x plus 8. I don't quite have it. I have negative y, which means negative 1y. So finally, my last step is actually to divide by negative 1. So I'm left with y equals negative x divided by negative 1 is just positive x. And negative 8 divided by negative 1 is negative 8. Okay, use the table to answer questions 6 through 10. Identify the x-intercept. So if I think about a graph, an x-intercept is where I cross the x-axis. To get here from the origin, I only go to the right. I don't go up and down at all. So my x-intercept is always written as x, comma, 0. Opposite, my y-intercept, how I get there is by going down, or maybe it's up, but this one's down. So to get my y-intercept, I have to go down. To the right and left, I don't go at all. No right and left, just up or down. So to look at my table to find the x-intercept, I am looking for where the y value is 0. And for my y-intercept, I am looking for where my x value is 0. To find the slope, I'm going to look for the change in y divided by the change in x. So I can pick any 2 points I want, or I can just look at the table as a whole. To get from negative 8 to negative 6, that comes from adding 2. Negative 6 to negative 4, adding 2. Negative 4 to negative 2, adding 2. Negative 2 to 0, adding 2. And 0 to 2 is also adding 2. So my change in y, positive 2. Now I'm going to look at my x's. 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. So to write my equation, it says point slope form. I can pick any point that I want. I will pick 10 and 2. So 10 is my x value. Two is my y value. What am I doing? Okay, so whoopsies, that's one. So x1, y1 would be 10, 2. Okay, I've got to finish in the next video.